Live it, breathe it, love it. All sports, double coverage.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. We hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man Sauce. What's happening, bro?
How are we, mate? How are we? We're back
Good.
another week.
Good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Fuck, it's all ramping up. It's all happening.
Yeah.
Sporting-wise, hobby-wise, it's
Sporting-wise.
quieting down a little bit.
Hobby-wise, it's a bit quiet. I mean, a bit of noise out of the corners in Australia, which we'll talk about. I mean, and not some good rumblings going on. I don't really know too much about the story, but we'll give a little comment. There might be more to follow up next week, but yeah, stay tuned for that in Hobby Talk in the second half of the show. But nonetheless, Doma, we had a big week in NFL. Come on, mate.
We're going to start with it. We're lucky that we didn't just call the episode Joey B is King this week. So...
Joey B the GOAT. That's what it should be called.
That AFC is just off its head at the moment with the quarterbacks that are in there. Global, what's happening? Joel, what's happening? Oh, man, that's where we're going to start. You know, usual rundown. NFL is where we are going to begin. NBA, EPL, F1 is back, UFC, Hobby Talk, and Saucy's Smokey. Adam, what is happening? Global, always keeping it rolling. We're going to actually, we can give a bit of a chat about a new podcast that will be airing on the show. Saucy and I did meet after our teaser in last week's podcast, and we've decided we are going to go ahead with it. And that's why, if you saw our story during the week, we asked for some topics, and I'll give a bit more of a rundown on that later on. Love the Rockstar hairdo. Yeah, it's a bit spiky. I was trying to get it pushed more to the side, but the wax, you know.
Mate, I tried to go get a haircut today and rocked up right when he opened. 3 people, old wogs in line. And I was like, nah, mate, I'm too busy, mate.
You just know that he's literally an hour and a half wait, mate. Before they talk about all the crap that they need to talk about in their very busy lives.
He's an old Italian bloke, so he loves a yarn.
They got busy lives, mate.
Get him talking about the culture, mate. He doesn't shut up. I'll tell you.
The culture and. Adam said,
it's good, but because he makes you a short black when you go in there. So you tell me where you're getting a short black.
Well, where I go, I get a short black too.
Yeah, there we go.
We're both on it. Adam said you've gone from backyard breaks to Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm not that dud with that crop top from backyard breaks. Anyway, let's get straight into it, Sauce. No more waffling on NFL. 2 massive games. We'll start with the big one first, and that was Bengals defeating the Chiefs in OT. Joey B, your boy. I may have put in a chat that I thought that you would be streaking down your street, and I reckon you were. That's how excited you would have been. But your thoughts on the game? Every game in the playoffs has been amazing, mind you. So give us a rundown.
Look, it was a interesting one. I will say to note that come crucial times and the time where you expect your best players to stand up, Patrick Mahomes was nowhere to be seen. He was pretty average down the stretch, and that's probably being generous. It was a game dominated by defenses, so some really good defensive play, but in the end, when they needed a game-winning drive, Joey Burrow got the job done, got it down there. And, the way that the Chiefs fans were celebrating when they won that coin toss in overtime, I just, at that point, even though I picked the Chiefs to win it all the start of the season, I mean, it would be great if I was on the money. I mean, I wanted them to lose at that point. When I heard that cheer, I'm like, you can't just expect that you've won the game. I mean, your quarterback has been dreadful in the fourth quarter, has absolutely been horrendous, right?
Well, second half. Second half. It was 21-3 at the end of the first half, and Mahomes was like, what was he? 15 of 17 completions. He already had 3 TDs.
The defensive change up on the Cincinnati side of the ball, credit, I don't know, the defensive coordinator. They, Joey B gave him praise after the game when they interviewed him. But, he made adjustments, and that Bengals defense was a completely different side in that second half. It was unbelievable.
Joey
They
B
had
walked in there
Mahomes.
and just
They had Mahomes running all out of the pocket, running back and forth. He's trying to extend plays. But you know what? There was some times there where they showed the replay and they panned out. And I think they had him doing stuff. They had him frazzled. They had him doing stuff, moving out of the pocket when he didn't really need to. Clearly, not looking in parts of the fields where he should have. There was a couple of plays there where he had guys wide open and he's just not seeing them at all. But credit to them, and I'm so excited for the Bengals fans. It was 30 something years they hadn't even won a playoff game, and here they are in the Super Bowl with Joey B. Sit down, Justin Herbert. It's Joey B time, and the price discrepancy between those two. I always said, Dom, how many times I said, I don't understand it. Like, yes, he's done his ACL, but you know what? With the ACL technology these days, I came back from playing sport, and I'm fat and overweight. Within 7 months, 7-8 months, I was back playing, right? And, it used to be a 12-month injury. Think about these guys at the elite level, the best doctors, the best physios, the best, of everything. Hyperbolic chambers and the nutritionists and,
hyperbolic time chamber, Dragon Ball Z friggin'.
Mate, it's a thing, mate.
It's called a hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah, hyperbolic, mate. Hyperbolic. Yeah. That's will always be.
Go in there for a day, like in Dragon Ball Z, but it's actually the length of a year.
Length of your ACL. That would be elite. But it's just, I'm just so happy for the franchise. And then on the other side of the ball, obviously, the Chiefs weren't good enough. Yeah, I'm not too sure whether that really is going to affect Mahomes' prices. Maybe a little bit, a bit of a drop for a tiny bit. But I think, he's obviously still young. That Chiefs franchise is still pretty good. It is going to be a thing. I have seen a post. This was really, really interesting. Shout out South Park Cards. He mentions about the contract of a winning quarterback historically. And I think I've mentioned this before, Doma, the ones right at the top, that are taking the big chunks of money, historically, they don't win Super Bowls because they're taking so much money that they can't fill the other gaps on the team where they need it. And, historically...
Well, he's on his rookie contract at the moment, Burrow, so it's perfect.
Perfect for them. And they've obviously improved immensely from last season. And obviously the first season they had with him, they did fix that offensive line. And then they were a lot better this week on the offensive line compared to the previous week.
The crazy thing, too, is because he's on that rookie contract, obviously the problems that they have within that team, which is the defense and probably some holes in their O-line, they can fix that by paying guys, which is crazy because look how good Burrow is, and technically he's in his first year because he got injured 7 games in last year. So it's pretty amazing to see. Pretty amazing. Adam's in. How you going? Adam. Sorry, Adam. Dream Theater says Joey overtime. The best part about that game was we no longer have to deal with the dipshit Mahomes brother. So I actually rate that. He's a Lamont. The other game that we had was San Francisco against the Rams. And the Rams made moves in the offseason. They made moves during the season, and it's paid off. All right. They've made it to the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford, first year in LA, straight to the Super Bowl, has the opportunity to win it.
Favored by the books, 4.5 points.
Yeah, that makes sense. Jimmy Jesus comes short and more than likely out the door at the end. Well, for next season, he'll be at a new franchise. Word is could potentially be Pittsburgh or there's someone else. Pittsburgh or someone else they were saying that are looking for a QB.
Jimmy G gives me a bit of
Anxiety.
Kirk Cousin vibes. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's an
Oh,
okay quarterback. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
But he
He's
can take a
okay. He
team.
can
Yeah.
he can win a playoff series.
I reckon he's a
But
good. I reckon he's really good in the locker room.
yeah, he's never. I
Because
don't
when
think
he
he's ever
doesn't
going to get
play,
to
their
that
record's shit.
pinnacle.
Their record was terrible when he doesn't play. So, and yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Their team is stacked. They got Odell Beckham Jr., who's absolutely dominating at the moment. Cam Akers, Cooper Cup, Aaron Donald, Von Miller's on that team as well. The team is a joke. It's a living joke. It is literally the all-star team of the NFL, led by Matthew Stafford, and more than likely they're going to be my tip. But in saying that, Source, I'm not going to write off Burrow because all I've seen is him come up clutch throughout the whole entire playoffs. They were getting outdone against the Raiders. They found a way to win. He got sacked 9 times against the Titans, found a way to win. It's come up against Kansas City, found a way to win. They were down 21-3. Now he's in the big dance. Source. Could be now or never. There's no guarantee, even that you know how good he is, that he'll be back there. Because how good the AFC is. With Josh Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, him. Like there's actually no guarantee you get back there. Oh, who else is it? Lamar? Lamar Jackson's is there as well. Like it's now or never for him. The NFC on the other hand, it's Rams, and that's pretty much it because we don't know what our good friend Aaron Rodgers is going to be doing next season. So, and we'll talk about the elephant in the room in the NFL in about 2 seconds. But your tip Source: Bengals, Rams, Super Bowl.
I'm going Bengals, Joey B all the way. I think it's going to be a close game. I really, the books have it 4.5 points favoring the Rams. It probably could be a field goal. Probably could be a field goal. I think this is going to be a close game, and everyone's written off the Bengals. What all this whole playoff series?
Yeah,
Give
I
me,
feel like that's fair.
giving me a bit of Western Bulldogs vibes. Western Bulldogs vibes when they won the premiership. Doma.
You
No
don't
one
know
really
who
gave
that
them any
is
chance.
overseas. That is a team that was a source is about to explain. No chance.
Yeah, they finished in 7th or 8th on the ladder, and
Sixth.
6th
Oh,
on the
the
ladder,
seventh.
right?
Seventh. No, it was seventh. And
7th,
then
yeah.
yeah,
And they went through and won every game and ended up winning the grand final in the Australian Football League. And no one gave them a chance that season. And they just went on an incredible run at the right time of the season, and they were able to pip one. So I'm getting that vibe from the Bengals. They're coming cherry ripe at the right time of the season, and I mean I believe in Joey Burrow. He's meant to be here. He's cool. He's calm. He makes the right decisions. He doesn't make too many mistakes. So
loves a
let's see.
stogie. He's ice
Loves a
cold, and I
stogie.
love it. I love it. Fans are going to win. Yeah, I agree, Adam. I completely agree. James says, "Good evening, and
Good day,
good evening
James.
to you as well." Um, Dream Theater says definitely Super Bowl for the fans. It's either going to be a landslide or a field goal difference. Regardless, it's been an awesome playoff series. Now, speaking about playoff series, last one has gone by for the greatest to ever lace them up in the NFL. Tom Brady, TB12, the GOAT, done and dusted. He goes out on a high. He goes out on a high source, regardless. He won a Super Bowl last year, had his best statistical year of his career in his last year. Just absolutely dominated. Um, Cherry says, so mad Brady isn't there. Well, I am too. I love Brady. So I'm spewing that he wasn't there. But, it's a new age of quarterback. And then this is literally the passing of the torch to the future, and it is bright for the NFL. But Brady, what a career source. For as long as I've watched the NFL, he's been the guy that's dominated. So my whole life, he's been the it and a bit guy in the franchise, in the league as well. Two franchises. But Source, your thoughts? Tom Brady, done and dusted. We don't get to see the number 12 again.
Yeah, look, just an incredible career. The GOAT, there's no doubt about it, without doubt. And what more can you say? I mean, the fact to move away from the franchise he was at for so many years, and then first season away wins the Super Bowl. Like, you kidding me? Like that's just amplifies his legacy in the National Football League. And amplifies his legacy as the GOAT. To go on the other side and get it done. The AFC and NFC, AFC. He's done it all. He's won NFC championships, Super Bowls, AFC championships, and AFC Super Bowl from from that side. And just the fact that you said it there, the fact that he had his best statistical season in his last season just shows what a true professional and what a perfectionist he is. Because to be still playing at that elite level at that age when you're right, at the end of your career, just phenomenal. In a sport where, let's not forget, early part of his career, he was what he was 22 years. I think he was around. It was dirty. Yeah, it was dirty.
Yeah.
It wasn't as
Yeah, it is 22
easy
years,
for quarterbacks as what it is now. They really protect the quarterback on the runs and with the slide rule, protecting the quarterback from the late hits and everything. You can really get severe suspensions for late hits on quarterbacks, and they really cleaned up the game. So, and he played in that era in the early part of his career where it was pretty bad. Helmet on helmet stuff where they let it go. There was no flags on that shit.
Played
So
through
he
different
played through
eras
that,
and he dominated.
and he dominated them all, which is just unbelievable. And I feel sorry for this man right here. We'll just bring it up.
Who is it?
Cardboard.
Is it I thought he was going to bring up
Shout out
Peyton Manning.
Cardboard Preacher. A beautiful story. Go check it out on his page. It's I'm bringing up, if you're listening to this, is a 2000 playoff contenders championship ticket, BGS 9 auto rookie ticket. Tom Brady auto, rookie Tom Brady auto. And funny story. Long story short, I'll cut it down for people. I think he bought this car for $4K and ended up selling it for $9K. And that was like, I think in 2000 and I can't remember where he said where it is, but go read the story. Cardboard_Preacher. And long story short, he sold it for $9K when now it's worth 3 something million dollars. But life could be worse. Life could be worse. Unfortunate. And I read it and I was like, it's pretty cool that you own the card. And people have so many of these stories. I'm sure he's not, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's out of your control. He says he had no long-term vision as the card. He couldn't believe that he'd earned a whole month's salary by selling a card. That's what he couldn't believe. And at the time, you probably can't, fault him for what he did, but
that's fair
he
enough.
never knew that it was going to get to this point, but it is what it is. I just, you hear these stories all the time, and that's why I just wanted to give it a shout. Just obviously, he posted this on the day where, Tom Brady has retired. It was just a little funny hobby story that
don't worry. With the new podcast coming up, I think Sauce and I might share a fair few things that we whiffed on in the hobby as well as in life, and we can have a bit of a laugh about it. Because I tell you what, we're not joking when we said we could have already had the double coverage island. I shit you not. The hell we were thinking, to be honest. Just a few things on Brady. Just remember this. This is what you saw in his 21-year career. You saw 7 Super Bowls, 5 Super Bowl MVPs, 3 MVPs, 2 Offensive Players of the Year, 15 Pro Bowl appearances. He's got a whole other bunch of things. But the records that you got to see was 7 Super Bowls, the most ever Super Bowl appearances, 10 by a player. Most Super Bowl MVPs, 5. Most career quarterback wins, 243. Most career passing attempts, 11,317. Most career passing completions, 7,263. Most career passing touchdowns, 624. Most career passing yards, 84,500. Most pass completions in a season, 485. And that was last season, Source. And he has the longest touchdown pass tied. I don't know who it's tied with, but it's 99 yards. So there you go. One of the best to ever do it.
The
Or the
best
best
to
to
ever do it.
Tom, or the best to ever do it, Tom Brady. There you go. All right, into the chats here. Cherry, how's Dom got a new haircut? Adam says more haircuts than Bieber now for sure. Oh, Adam, 6th-round pick. He was. Never forget the pick of Brady from the combine. 100%. He just looks so awkward. Truly the GOAT. Also sad to see Big Ben retire as well. Completely agree. Are we going out after Hobby Hangout? It's on a Sunday. Not sure. Maybe. Yes. Whatever.
We'll talk
As long
about
as
it.
I don't care.
Sure, we can organise something.
We'll work something out. We'll definitely work something out. All right, moving on. NBA source. As you know, we're picking topics these days. LeBron James injured. You got your mate back in a Disney, and LeBron's a knee, and apparently it's troubling him a fair bit. So, your thoughts? You finished? You done? You packing it in? I genuinely thought that after the All-Star break, you were just going to start doing things that were crazy and just start winning games all of a sudden and start playing great ball and start playing great defense. I just think that, yeah.
I don't see it happening. I just think there's not enough, chemistry, not enough
Yeah.
continuity. They're playing enough games together to get it done. I mean, recruiting guys, like I understand, like he's not a bad guy, but it doesn't help our cause. Bringing in guys like Kendrick Nunn who hasn't stepped foot on the court all season. It hasn't even been able to, and it's just I don't know. I don't really know. Yeah, not looking good, man. Not looking good. I've said our current format, Lakers won't do anything. If we get past the first round, I'll be surprised because the way we're going, we're going to end up having to be in the playoff. Then we're going to have to play the first or second seed. And if
True.
the first seed, if this first seed's freaking Phoenix, I'll tell you what, we'll get bounced in the first round again.
Speaking of Phoenix source, Chris Paul. You had some very nice, flattering things to say to me the other day about him.
Yeah,
how he's
I
making
think
a few players look a lot better in that team than what they actually are.
Yeah. Guys like DeAndre Ayton, he's getting made to look a lot better than he actually is. He's a solid big man. Don't get me wrong. He's no Joel Embiid. He's not that caliber of big man, but he puts up good numbers, rebounds hard, defends pretty well. But obviously getting made to look a hell of a lot better on the offensive side of the ball than he actually is because Chris Paul is just unbelievable. He had a game the other day where he had 20 points and 19 assists. Nearly had a 20-20 game with nearly 1 assist shy of 20 assists, which is just unreal. I think the highest other person on the team had 2 assists in the game. That was on his team.
You almost said the Warriors team assist. They aim for 30 a game.
So it was unbelievable. I think, it's just underestimated how much he's also allowed Devin Booker's game to go to a new level. Obviously, when Chris Paul wasn't there, Devin Booker, took more of the onus, obviously tried to facilitate, tried to score, tried to do a bit of everything. Now at the moment, he's sort of more focused on the scoring aspect. He's able to lock in defensively where, he's improved and he's able to get steals on the ball. And, he's able to jump the lanes. And Chris Paul allows him to do more of those things because he doesn't have to handle the ball on the offensive side of the ball. He just, he runs off down screens, gets to his spots. He's obviously still a lethal scorer. Still could probably take his game to another level, I think. But, he's able to express himself and be more a primary shooting guard, which is, I think suits his game overall. And, he's only allowed to do that because Chris Paul is just such a general. And he's got that team playing very, very well. And, they've got guys coming off the bench that are making impact, which is what you need. They're going along very well. I think they're probably, I would say, the team to beat. Utah's fallen off a hell of a lot. Don't really see them as a threat. And then, the other side of the, Clippers, they're not going to do anything. They might be struggling to get their guys back. PG could be out for the whole year. And then you get an underdone Kawhi towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Probably not going to
The
really
West,
do anything.
oh, sorry,
I
the
think
East.
It's the
Yeah.
Warriors, and I'm saying it's the Warriors and I just
Suns.
forgot the Suns. That's right.
In
Warriors and the Suns.
in the West. But
Yeah.
in the East, the only teams really Bucks, Nets, and maybe Miami if they have another run again, like they did 2 seasons
Yeah,
ago.
Bucks are struggling at the moment, and you can't deny that they are, and they need to
But
start
finally
playing a bit
swing.
better.
They
But
got Giannis.
yeah, they've still got after the All-Star break to turn it around a little bit. But they do need to start stepping it up.
Oh,
Drew Holiday
Phoenix
has
as
been
well.
injured a little
Yeah.
bit as well, so that's thrown a few things out. But they have got guys back, like Dante DiVincenzo has come back and
Yeah.
started playing again. So they're adding to their bench depth.
Grayson
So I don't.
Allen's back after his JBL clothesline
Oh,
from hell.
jeez, what about that? What about that?
It's
So what
unbelievable.
what
Yeah,
is what you expect?
Philly
I mean,
probably is the other team, really. If they can do something before the trade deadline, it'd be good. Probably getting another shooter in there, potentially, a defender around Embiid. Work wonders for him, I reckon.
yeah. Look,
That's
I'll tell you
if they
this.
can get rid of
I'll
Ben
tell you
Simmons and
this.
get shit
This
for
is
him,
this is where it comes to come
they can
playoff
win it.
time. This is where it comes. Don't worry about Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid will go get his, right? The other guys. Tobias Harris, do I really have faith in Tobias Harris to step up as the number
No.
2 guy? No. Do I have faith that Seth Curry is going to step up at
No.
times, but he's not as consistent? Yeah, he will, but inconsistent? No. You need 2. You really do need 2, and I just don't have not saying that I'm saying you need 2 guys to have good
To win it.
series.
No,
To
to
win
win
it,
it. To win it, you need
right?
it. Middleton dominated last year. When
Yeah, he
Giannis
played
had
very
those
well.
off games against the Nets, it was Middleton that was having 35 and kept them in the series. Got them into that 7th game for the chance to get to the finals. And that was not for anything, us giving shit to Middleton, but the fact that they got Drew Holiday helped the Bucks. Drew Holiday played that 3rd, and Middleton had less pressure, and he actually flourished. It was incredible. So you actually do need 2 guys. I don't care what anyone says. You need 2 guys to win it. There's no one winning it solo. We've seen it enough in history, and if someone can point it out in recent time, by all means, give me an example. I'm talking in recent time. You can go back in history. So if one person, Iverson tried, didn't get it.
No.
So anyway, that's just what it is. We'll see what happens there. Ja Morant, just a shout out to him. He's been absolutely balling out at the moment.
Out, yeah.
Cherry said Lakers snub Jerry West with no tickets. What the F is going on down there? I did see that story, actually. I don't know. There must be something a bit deeper in that, because I know Jerry West is involved with the Clippers, but you have to put business aside when it comes to tickets to a game, because we know who Jerry West is. That's the logo, the legend of the Lakers. His jersey's hung up during every Lakers game. So who knows? Stephen Clay says, "Well, Giannis is the only superstar at the Bucks." Yeah, that's right, but he's got help. He's got a good 2 in Middleton. That's
We're not
why.
saying superstars.
Nah,
But I was saying
just
in
2, just
reference to
2.
Philly,
Come along the
look,
ride. Someone has to
I'm not
come
saying.
along for the ride.
Yeah, someone has to come along. Someone has to start averaging 25 plus in a series. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Do I think that Tobias Harris or Steph Curry can do that? No. That's what I'm talking.
You need someone to come along for the ride in the playoffs. As simple as that. Like that's it. You're gonna get, like, for example, they're gonna have the Nets. Yeah, you're gonna have KD. Harden's gonna be there. So, you don't need to worry about that stuff. You're going to be every second game or third game, you're going to have Kyrie coming into the team. So you got him there. The Bucks have got Middleton. The Heat have got Bam and Butler. So if Butler's killing it, he just needs one guy to come along for the ride. Even Lowry, he's got experience. Whether he kills it, he kills it. Then on the other side, you got Clay and Steph. You got 2 there. For Phoenix, you got Booker and Paul. That's what I'm saying. In Philly, you got Embiid, and you're hoping that it's Tobias Harris. Yeah, I agree with Adam. Yeah, that's exactly right. Maxi's been balling, but he ain't the guy. Exactly. Those are the types of guys, they need experience, but if they get to that stage, more than often, they shrink in the moment. They shrink. They just don't put the same production out. Harder defense, less shit called, people get frustrated, they turn the ball over a lot more. That's what playoff basketball is. That's the hardest transition in a season, playing 82 games with one set of rules and then going into the playoffs, and it's a completely different game. Literally. They'll swallow the whistle. Like Embiid, like we're seeing Embiid what he's doing now, but I'm telling you, can you see Embiid going to the line 15 times? Taking 15 free throws in the playoffs? No. Maybe
Probably
half
not.
that.
Yeah.
So you're already down 8 points, 7 points from your guy. And the shots that should be fouls, they're just wasted possessions. They're misses. So that's the other thing. Timberwolves have huge potential. They do, 100%. I'm not going to disagree. Cat's been playing really well, which is awesome. Maxi's always be benched once the bigger boys come back. Yep, 100%. Maddie, how you going? Good to have you along. Moving on, Sauce. I wanted to touch on this. I didn't know if I wanted to touch on this because we don't usually get into a lot of stories this hardcore, like criminal stories. Like, I don't think we've ever ventured into this territory, but we're going to get onto Mason Greenwood. I want to talk about it because it is my football club. So I thought, you know what, Sauce, I do want to mention a few things. First and foremost, off the top, completely disappointing as a Man United fan. Absolutely disgusting, the acts. He can't come out and deny it. There was a statement from Greenwood's girlfriend. The father came out and said that her phone got hacked. This is literally the quote. Her phone got hacked. She didn't want that stuff to get out. So that means he did it to her. It's just she never wanted it revealed to the public. Now, I've spoken to a lot of people that have known this stuff, like in sport, and we spoke to someone on Monday, and they said she didn't want it to come out because I was like, why wouldn't you want that to come out? And that person said a lot of the time is so they can settle it privately. And that's how a lot of these athletes get away with it. Like they'll pay big dollars to a person and it settles the matter and they move on. And yeah, he gets reprimanded by the club and this shit never sees the light of day. That's what happens. I'm actually glad that it has seen light of day because I've heard a few people say some things, point out some things that, he'll do the time for the crime and whatever it is, whether he goes to jail or he doesn't go to jail, if she presses charges or not, right? I don't know what the situation is going to be. That, he'll do the time for the crime, but he'll come back and people forget about it. No. Won't happen this time. No. You're going to give Gylfi Sigurdsson a second chance for child pornography? You're going to give Mendy a second chance for bashing women? Like, are we going to give those guys a second chance? You're going to give a guy a second chance for bashing his missus and pretty much trying to rape her? We're actually going to give these guys a second chance. Sorry, as much as it is disappointing to people that might be listening to this, we're not the NFL here. The Premier League's not the NFL, where you can beat the shit out of a woman and then they're fucking on another team the next season.
Is that Mendy that was from City that you were talking about?
Yeah. No, not the other one. Not the Chelsea Mendy.
There's one that plays for Real Madrid now. I think that was the previous one that's from City.
Does he? Don't say that shit to me.
I'm pretty sure.
Don't
Previously
say that
at
shit
City?
to me.
Yeah. I'm just...
Greenwood's cooked, in my opinion. He's done.
Eduardo Mendy?
Oh, that is the one. You're kidding me. I did not know that. Oh, fuck.
No, Eduardo Mendy.
No, it's not
that's not it. That's
different one.
No, that's not that one.
Different one. Besides the point, he's definitely not going to be playing for a top club. I don't even think he'll be playing in the Premier League again.
Oh no, he's not. No, yeah, you're
All right.
correct. You are
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
So he'll be done. He'll be done as well.
Yeah.
So you can add him
He's
to. You
done.
can add Greenwood to that
Add
list
him
as
to
well.
the list.
Him
I'm
and Mendy
serious.
can be mates together in prison.
Yeah, Joel mates.
One,
They're
but
fucking
one from
idiots.
each team in Manchester.
Pardon? Oh, fuck yeah.
One from each
team
city.
yeah,
One
fucking
from each team in Manchester.
two dumb
What's in
fucks.
the tap water in Manchester, Doma, mate? Jeez.
Don't
What's
even
in the
go
tap
there.
water in
Adam says if
Manchester?
Roy Keane was playing alongside him, he probably would have belted Greenwood. Yeah, I agree. He would have. The signs are not promising for a kid, all right, on allegations when you lose your Nike sponsorship, half your fucking football side, all your mates have unfollowed you on social media. I'm telling you, he's cooked. Like, if she decides to press charges, like, this is jail. He's going to jail, Source. Like, his best chance is of ever playing again is in a league, not the Premier League. If another league wants to take that risk and take the heat, it's a PR nightmare putting a guy like that on your football club. It's a PR nightmare. It's worth more of a hassle than anything. That's why I say he's not going to play. I'll tell you one thing that's definitely not going to happen. He will never play for the England national team. Full stop. Tell me otherwise. And he got left out for the Euros, and I was just saying a source off air. There's actually now reports coming out that he was a bit of an arrogant guy, hard to get along with. You know, that shit makes sense. That's probably why. He was a head case off the field. So England didn't want to take a chance on him. He's probably shit in the locker room. So you never know what happens behind closed doors, obviously. I know athletes get painted as these picture perfect human beings when more often than not, over 50% of them, I'm just saying over 50% because I want to give a big number because it's true. Over 50% of them have skeletons in their closets and have flaws. So that's the thing you got to remember. So he's gonna pay for what he's done, and rightfully so, because it's a dog act. It's disgusting, and shit like that should never be done. So that's my take on it. So I just had to put it out there because it is my team. Regardless of being my team, it is still the wrong thing to do, and shit like this should never be happening in society. Simple as that. Yeah, Wayne Carey made a comeback, but that's the AFL. So I'm talking about soccer. That Rice guy from freaking was it the Ravens or whatever it was in the NFL who beat the one that beat the crap out of his missus in the elevator. He got a second chance, didn't he?
Yeah.
NFL, you get second chances, man. Don't worry about the NFL. Wayne Carey, yeah. Spud act. Shouldn't have done it. But in that situation, Saucer does take two to tango in the Wayne Carey situation. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's right. Took two to tango. In this situation, unfortunately, she's innocent and she's just been pummeled defenselessly against a bigger, stronger person. Shouldn't be done. Disgusting.
Yeah, look,
all right,
we'll leave it at that, Dom. I'll just say it was, obviously very, very weak act by Mason Greenwood, and that will be the last time we ever speak about that man on this show.
Yep, pretty much. So
he's irrelevant now.
Literally fire sale on his cards, ladies and gents. That means.
Oh yeah, no, I was seeing PSA 10 rookie cards today on eBay,
no.
$6.
No, you don't understand. My fire sale is just grab him, put him in a barrel, and light him on fire, mate, because they won't even be worth a cent when he doesn't play again. So.
At least, you know what I mean? At least you don't feel so bad resting your coffee cup on it now. You know?
I'd love to do a lot more than rest my coffee cup on that card. I'll tell you that much, Sauce. All right, let's move on before it gets out of hand here on what I would and would not like to do.
For a second.
Yeah, I was about to freaking say I'd love to see Greenwood. I'd do a Jake Paul setup fight for that. I'd beat the living suitcases out of him. I'll get Tony Bellew. He'd probably side with me, even that I gave him the Le Mans sauce. Doesn't really matter. He'd come to my aid. Beat the crap out of him. Anyway, moving on. F1. Some changes. Sauce. If you haven't seen them, I will probably give this article to source. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's 7 key rule changes. I'm not going to go through it like crazy. Frozen power units is one of them. They're obviously trying to move to a more hybrid engine with sustainable fuel, and that's aim is by 2026. So power units are going to start to change a bit over the next 4 years. A return to a 2-part preseason test. There's going to be 2 lots. So February 23rd to 25th. So keep your eye on that date. That is in 4 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time. The 23rd to the 25th, official preseason. You'll get to see the look of the car. Probably not in its colors. They usually put out a bare bones car for that practice session, testing session, sorry. Official preseason test is in Bahrain ahead of the first race on March 10 to 12. That is when you will see the cars in their colors, and we'll get some sick drops over the socials on the designs of the 2022 cars and what they're going to look like. It is, though, Source, 3 days per driver to get grips with their new cars in the future of with the new future of F1. So it's going to be interesting going into the first race, turn 1 at Bahrain in 2022. There could be some cars flying
Crash
everywhere.
or no crash? What's the odds?
Who
mate?
bloody
What are we
knows? Who
paying?
knows? Tightening of aerodynamics testing is another thing coming into place. A lower budget cap. So the figure was 145 million last year. It is going down to 140. This article is on the Formula1.com website, and it does say that it is probably going to still float a bit higher than 140. So depending on the parts. So it could be around about 142.5. So it's only dropping 2.5 million. A new weekend format. So they're going to start practice a bit later on the Friday. It's just so it doesn't impact their time away from their family and stuff like that, which is good. They're starting to look after the drivers a bit more on that front. Mandatory practice outings for the rookies. They're going to jump in the cars so they can get some practice as well. New Tyre Regulations. So this one I will read. So the size change has gone from 13-inch wheel source to 18 inches with the new rules regarding their use. The first change is a rule that relates to the tire blankets that team used to heat the tires when in the garage. Previously, the front tires could be heated to 100 degrees Celsius, but drops to 70 degrees from 2022 onwards, while the rears were at 80 and they have been dropped to 70. So not as hot and warm. The upshot is a colder tire when leaving the pits and a different approach needed from drivers on their out laps, as well as the new approach to the tire compounds from Pirelli. This is part of F1's ongoing sustainability program with less heating, meaning a lower carbon footprint. Don't even get me started on that. The running tire pressures are also likely to be lower because the smaller sidewall on the 18-inch tire makes it more robust. So teams have a whole new set of parameters to deal with on the top of the physical differences in tires themselves. So, Source, those were the 7 things to pay attention to. Just watch that carbon footprint. Could bite your tires in the ass, unfortunately.
I don't know. It would just be interesting to see how this pans out. Do we get, regardless, there's supposed to be equalization. Do we actually get equalization, or do we just get, because Mercedes has the best engineers, they just find the best way to get the tweaks in that specific types of engines?
I don't know how accurate.
Parameters.
I don't know how accurate this is going to be, Source. I don't know how accurate this is going to be, but Toto Wolff, team principal at Mercedes, for those who don't know, and team principal at Red Bull. Oh my God, what's his name?
Horner.
Christian Horner. That's it. Both said, Source, not looking forward to getting absolutely dominated by Ferrari in the first few laps, in the first few races of this season. They genuinely reckon that Ferrari's leaps and bounds ahead of them. That means that old Mario, that just means, yes, that's what I was about to say. Maybe old Mario over there, Bonotto, who looks like Mario, has just been working on the 2022 car, the technology for it, for the last 2 seasons, mate. He goes, we're going to be shit. We've got the big fire truck and the big red car from the Wiggles. We've got no chance of winning anything here. They just put all our money into this. Just don't. He's literally just said to Sainz and Leclerc, do not smash the car so we have to spend more money on repairing them. I want to put it into the technology. Literally what I reckon's happened.
I mean, not a bad ploy. I mean, we need Ferrari to be relevant again. We need them to be relevant again. It will be so good for the sport.
Leclerc is the... I'm telling you, buy Leclerc now. That is my tip. Buy Leclerc. He's relatively affordable. He was actually the most affordable out of all of them when the F1 was kicking off, because everyone was focusing on Norris and Russell and Hamilton and Verstappen, and no one was really talking about Leclerc because Ferrari stunk. I'm telling you, if they're good, he is sourced top 5 best drivers on the grid. That's how good he is. Just think about what he did with that Ferrari the last 2 seasons, and they were shit.
Yeah, fair point.
Just don't forget about that. How good he got. Like, he got the best out of that car. It was unbelievable. Sauce, let's move on. I'm looking forward to it, though. It's coming around very quickly, the F1s. But UFC, talk to us. We've got a card this week, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we do have a card this week. Doma. But before I mention, I'll go through the card, because look, I'll be honest with you. I'm looking at the card. It's okay, but it's nothing amazing. The following week is what we're really looking forward to. But I do want to have a bit of a flashback, right? And I'd like to be able to play it. I'll see if I can get it going.
Flashbacks.
This is a flashback to podcast number 81, right? Now, if you do yourself a favor, go back to podcast number 81. It's prior to the Francis Ngannou and Cyril Gane fight, right? Skip to 36 minutes in, and please just listen to my take on how I thought the fight would go, and how I thought it would pan out. Because a friend of mine who's very much into the UFC and listens to a number of MMA UFC podcasts where they are fighters, supposed to be experts. They all said completely opposite. That if Gane wanted to win, he had to take Ngannou down and use grappling, right? These guys are supposedly experts, but you got Mr. Saucy over here, who has, well, obviously I must have an idea what I'm talking about because I've watched the sport for a while now. But I've pretty much said if Ngannou wants a chance at winning this fight, he has to take it to the ground and pound. And Gane, if not, Gane's going to pick him off from the outside. And sure enough, 2 rounds in, he was losing. He lost the first 2 rounds. Did Ngannou to Gane. And Gane was doing exactly what I said, was picking him apart. And round 3, 4, and 5, Ngannou took it to the ground and pound, time and control, and ended up holding the belt. So, I'm just going to give myself a little pat on the back because my mate was amazed.
I just see your head getting this big. Just look.
Oh, it's gotten massive. I was amazed.
Look how big it's getting.
I was amazed. It's getting just as big as when Pedro was calling you bloody Brad Pitt when you had the blonde hair, mate.
My hair wasn't big. My head didn't get big when he called me that because I knew I looked like him. So that's the difference, mate. So
anyway,
just a quick one.
I'm going to give myself a little plug on that one.
Just a quick one before you do get into it. Santa Claus said 2022 cars will be slower than last year's. They'll be slower at the beginning of the season, half a second overall, a lap, but they reckon by the end of the season it could far surpass the speed of the cars from 2021. It could be very, very, very quick by the end of the season. Anyway, Sauce, card this week.
All right, so the card this week is kicks off at 11 a.m. The main card, prelim card, kicks off at 8 a.m. That's Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Please check your local guides if you do not live in Australia. We'll run through the main card quickly. Featherweight division, Julian Erosa against Stephen Peterson. Middleweight division, Treason Gore against Brian Battle. Light heavyweight, Sam Alvey against Brandon Allen. Welterweight, this is a good one. Shavkat Rakhmonov against Carlston Harris. And then we got middleweight division. You got Punile against Pulinale Soriano against Nick Maximov. And then Jack Hermanson and Sean Strickland in the middleweight for the main event. And we'll preview next week's card, which I'll just flick it over quickly because that's our boy Robert Whittaker against Izzy Adesanya. And then once again, I'm looking forward to the co-main event more than the main event, which is Derek Lewis against Tai Tuivasa. But that is Sunday the 13th, so we've got a card in between them, which is the one which I read out previously. So we look forward to that, and then the big UFC 271 the following week.
Very nice. Look who's in the house, Saucy. Look who's
What's
in
going
the
on?
house.
Refreshed Cards. Check him out on IG. Refreshed Cards IG. And
Adam said if
you
I
want
was
to
still
breaks,
blonde,
feel free to head down there as well.
Adam said if I was still blonde with my haircut, I'd look like Vanilla Ice. And I replied in the comments and said, "Where were these jokes when I had the blonde hair?
You got called
Where
Slim
were
Shady.
these?" Yeah, but Slim Shady's very successful rapper source. Very successful. More successful
Vanilla
than
Ice is
Vanilla Ice.
successful. Had one hit wonder, mate.
I think he went bankrupt, didn't he? Global says thoughts on the new F1 product. Which one? The one that's out now?
The flagship stuff is rubbish, in my opinion. I'd be waiting for the Chrome.
Lights Out? Is that the one we're talking about here?
Not that one. Lights Out.
That's currently out, isn't it?
Are you talking about the new sets global, the new season that's coming out? Not sure, but
Chrome,
yeah, I'd be waiting for Chrome. Chrome will be Chrome. I'll be interested to see what happens with the box prices. I do know for a fact that pre-order prices were like $600 a box. You know,
how much?
Know.
We are in hobby talk right now. What are they going for this year's ones at the moment? I'm telling you now, it's depending on what they do with Chrome, it's not worth 600 because we know the pre-order originally was 350 on Chrome. It was at 350 at one stage. That's where I actually reckon the product should be this year for Chrome. And I said it 1,000 times, and I say it for the 1,001st time, Source. This product coming out now, the next one, will get nowhere near last year's product for the fact of there's no rookies. The best rookies were in last year's product. Russell and Lando, your first Leclerc cards. You got like the first of everyone's pretty much their cards. What are we getting this year? Second year Lando cards.
Yeah, so this is on Blowout. Blowout's got, obviously the 2020 Topps Chrome for $2.5K.
It's still
but then the pre-order on the 2021 Topps Formula One. Now, I don't think this is Chrome. It just says Topps Formula One, 630. I don't think that's actually Chrome.
That's ridiculous if it's not Chrome.
Yeah, I don't know. They've got this
There's
2021 Topps Formula One, and then they got Chrome down here. Chrome's 600 for a box, and the Topps is 630. What the hell's the difference?
Is that flagship? I know Chrome. That must be Topps flagship.
Yeah, how's Chrome less than that? That doesn't make sense.
They got mem cards in it or something.
18 packs, eight cards per pack. Yeah, I'm not sure. What if you guaranteed one auto or what?
I completely agree with you. Positive. Lights Out. Vomit. Yep. I reckon it's gross.
Yeah, so there's more cards in that one, but I think it's just the standard Topps. It's just like it's just like the paper version. It's just like a paper version. It's not even Chrome.
So it's hoops.
Finish.
So it's hoops.
Yeah, how can that be more expensive than Chrome? That's ridiculous. If
you're buying Topps hoops,
that is ridiculous.
Topps hoops and Topps Prism. So Chrome's Prism, and then just flat out Topps F1 is hoops. Which I actually spoke to the Oracle about Hoop Source, and he reckons it's farcical that we're paying what we're paying for hoops boxes this year. Wow. He said it's actually farcical and an indictment on the hobby. That's what he actually said.
Look at this.
Oh, fuck.
2,800
How cheap
pre-order
were
for
these last
Dynasty.
year?
Mate, Dynasty last year when they first released
Oh,
was like peanuts. I think they're under $1,000, I think, for a
yeah, they
box.
were. Yeah, they were. Oh, they've caught
I
on to
mean,
that
oh, mate,
very
I tell you
quickly.
what, nothing ever sits good for a while, does it? Anymore
No,
in this hobby. As soon as
it's all
there's
about
any little
dollar.
bit of collectors in a new sector, as soon as the new releases come out, it's just dollar, 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 isn't it?
It's
With
unbelievable.
these guys, man. Like the fact that this is like more than half of what they released them last year at is just, yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
But see, Source, I don't see. The thing is, people are going to go buy it, but I don't
It's one
understand the
card.
logic. I don't know, but I don't understand the logic behind it. The better product was last year because you got all the rookie autos of the guys that you wanted. You got the Hamilton autos, like the first patch autos of his that you can get, his first chrome cards. As I said with F1, it is a sport. It is a sport source that you don't get 15, 20 rookies to choose from every year. You're lucky to have one. You're lucky to have one rookie. One rookie. And then you're going to have to start collecting Verstappen and Hamilton. But by the time you start collecting Hamilton and Verstappen, they're so watered down because there's so many autos that you're just going to keep on turning back to 2020 Tops Chrome because that's where the autos are. And 2020 Tops Dynasty because it's the first time you're going to get one of their first autos. That's what you're going to turn back to. That's what you're going to turn back. They're technically their rookie auto, even that you know it's in their fucking 400th season of driving. It's the first time they've signed. Oh my god!
I'm not going to read it, but I'll tell
I'm
you
not
what.
reading that. Jesus.
Oh, anyone, if you're listening to this, skip to 57 minutes in and just read
Oh
the comment
man.
from Adam. It's pretty funny. I'm not going to read it out though.
Well.
I just had to show.
Well. Global says, oops, he was passing up a dynasty at 750. Global said. Oh, don't worry, Sauce and I had the opportunity to buy that too. We had the opportunity to pre-order Chrome for hardly anything.
Yeah, pre-order.
Lucky Saucy was able to help my
$600
sister
a
out get
box.
the box that she got, and she made good profit on it. Global says he bought a orange refractor Danny Rick to 25. I like that. It's very nice. Nah, don't apologize, mate. That was elite. Don't apologize. On the new podcast, we'll read it out. On the new
yeah.
pod, we'll read it out. Yeah, because we'll be ticking the box not safe for kids to watch. That's what we'll be clicking on in that one. So don't you worry about that. Anyway, moving on. I don't know. Lights out. Looks putrid. It's just a concern. I want to put it out there again. It's probably going to come up on Crunch Time at some stage with Lukey, and we're going to talk about it. But yeah, just be very, very, very wary where you go with F1 this season. Be conscious of it.
I have no idea what this is, but I just seen this there. 2021 Topps Chrome Formula One Racing.
That's like the
light
hanger.
box.
It's like the hanger, isn't it? Or
okay.
whatever the hell it is.
What,
It says
$300 for it?
Oh no, 16 packs. 4 cards
16
per
packs
pack.
in there. It must be like a retail box or something.
No, I reckon it's like it's the it's Topps Chrome, but if you go to the spec on original Topps Chrome, not the light box, what's the original spec? Is it just 2 packs more, I think?
Yeah, 2 packs more, 4 cards per pack.
Yeah, but there's something in there. Chrome autos, F1 and F2 drivers, 200 card base. So what's in the light version? Oh, you can get F2 driver autos. That's actually not too bad. Get Piastri. Find at least 4 all new light SKU exclusive. Okay, you get Ray Wave parallels.
Yeah, which is that?
Okay.
That Sonoda there with that Ray Wave. Yeah. So just another way to water down the product and try.
So instead of getting this silver, you get the what's them called it, the hyper. The Prism Hyper. That's the Prism Hyper. The Chrome
that's
Hyper.
What they're doing.
Yeah,
they're doing a Panini 101 here, mate. Well, next minute they'll be like what they do with Prism. They got the choice variant, the fast break variant, the friggin' the hobby variant, the first of the line variant. You see where this is going?
I know where it's going. I 100% know where it's going. Adam says, bring on the 92 grid. Yeah, it was. I think Schumachers are on the way. It could be on the way back very soon. We sent to HGA, so we'll have some grades there, and we'll be able to show you some stuff on that front. Saucy Star Stock. Bit of news came out there during the week
Yeah,
that you wanted to touch on.
interesting one. With Starstock, they halted raw submissions. Um, Admittedly, the guy, he did reach out, shout out Sports Card Anonymous on YouTube. I don't know if he has an IG account. I know he's on Twitter. I watched a video of him reporting on what sort of had happened with Starstock, which was, them shutting down their raw submissions, raw cards, and also them. I think they released, 30 employees or 32 employees or something like that. And he gave a bit of a report about it and so on, and credit to the I think the CEO or someone high up at the company, Scott. I think it's Greenberg, to stand to be corrected there, but I know his first name's Scott. I think it was Greenberg. Did come on his show on Sports Card Anonymous, so feel free to go over and check that out. But I'll just let you know that what he sort of said, which was, he gave some reasons why they did certain things, and it was that they probably, with the demise of the market, obviously the amount of volume of cards that were getting flipped on their platform decreased, especially because people weren't trying to flip the base cards and do that whole sort of day trading aspect to things. When that sort of died off in the hobby, that sort of affected their business. And he did say that that's why they obviously ventured into breaks. And he pretty much said, unfortunately, we need to scale back our business, because if we don't, then we're going to be in bad stead. So that's the decision that they decided to do. What happens from here, where Starstock goes from here, I don't know. I feel like I liked Starstock. I really like what they were trying to do. I like the instantaneous trade, and the cards being stored there. I like that for a few things, especially stuff where I was making baseball plays and buying shit on eBay and sending to Starstock. Not that I know much about baseball, but it's worked for me before, and bigger market over there. It allowed me to do some things and flip cards from here that otherwise I wouldn't have been able to flip. So I liked it for those sort of aspects. I've been a big talker about, buying cheap slabs on eBay, finding steals and sending it to Starstock and just listing there a bit higher. And, I've sold quite a few cards doing that. So I like the platform. I hope that they're not going anywhere and they do figure it out, and they do get things up and running again. I think they need to go more towards a traditional type of marketplace, in my opinion, and not stick, which is what they sort of ventured into, which is said they starting to accept vintage cards. They accept Shaq now, they accept Kobe, they accept vintage guys, which I think was an error on their part to nail themselves to the rookie cards only sort of spectrum. And current, at the beginning, it was only current playing players as well when they first started, right? So they really narrowed their lane where there's more collectors overall. But let's see how they work it out. I hope they're not going anywhere. I did do a withdrawal literally 2 days ago, and or 3 days ago, I got my money. So it's not like they're not going bankrupt. They aren't stealing your cards. There is a little clause in the T's and C's that if they in evidence in an event where they do go bankrupt. So please just note this: if you are using the platform, essentially the products that are in their possession aren't yours anymore. Essentially, so
Wow. Wow.
so there is a bit of a clause there, and a lot of people did shit, and they did. I think he said they ended up getting like 300 requests to withdraw cards, but he said that's a bit more than
It's
usual,
on.
but not
Yeah.
abnormally, compared to their user base. And they don't have any plans in actually, folding or going anywhere. They're looking to work through and restructure their business, so that they can be around for a longer time in the hobby. So, look, I hope they work it out. But yeah, just a note on that. Yeah, Maddie, I know Maddie likes to play on Starstock, so, buying stuff on eBay and flicking it to Starstock.
Global
It
Global
gives you
says
those opportunities.
if you watch Dakota's first interview with Starstock ex-employee, he says that they will never do Raw again. Global
Yeah, and
says he's been waiting for my cards to be shipped for 6 months.
yeah. There's just some things in the aspects in that business that they need to fix, and I think, admittedly, they probably knew that, and they probably let it get it out of hand. They did have a bit of a PSA situation where they allowed that shit to get out of hand and sort of swept it under the carpet. Now it's got to the point where it's that bad that they've had to take drastic action. So, another mistake by a company. We're sort of used to that shit in the hobby. It's not too bad, I don't think. It is a bit shit on your part, Global, but I'll tell you what, ComC ain't any better in shipping cards out. And they're much the similar sort of service in a sense. So, yeah, it's sort of what you deal with a little bit with these, with these sort of
Maddie said, well,
signers or, platforms and all.
Maddie said, well, you can grade with them, but no raw means no grading. It's a fair point. He makes a fair point.
Look, I'll be honest with you. That was one of my things that I was really, really targeting. Like I was, buying Star Stock A's base cards and buying them cheap of guys that, I want to get, soccer guys and things like that. Waiting, sickening it out, and waiting for the PSA cheaper bulk sub to come back and, flicking all those through Star Stock and getting them graded. Once obviously, I think, I could expect PSA to come back with a cheaper price even within the next, I would say 6 months. I think they'll be even getting a lower price entry point. And then within 1 year, I'd expect it to be even, lower. That's their goal. So, I was doing that and just letting them sit on the platform, and I'm not listing them. Just keep buying more Star Stock A's, keep stocking them up because, they've got a good hit rate on those. But yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate what's happened.
Source would love this. He would love this comment from Hartman Sports Cards. He says he had a PSA Charizard unseal as it was shipping to a new owner. Don't tell Source that. Source loves that shit. He loves anything bad PSA. Positive says.
I don't.
Positive,
But I just,
I know.
I just like to point out that there's flaws in every fucking company.
Everyone's got a flaw.
Everyone.
It's true. Positive says 2022 has been mental, and it definitely has been. It's been psychotic, to say the least. The amount of drama has been crazy. Not going to end there, though. It doesn't stop there because, as Source mentioned at the top of the show, it's actually hit home here in Australia as of this week. Very interesting stuff that has surfaced. Source knows a lot more than what I do about it, but there's still a lot more that we still want to explore. Yeah. Source is going to even open up an invitation. So, and Hartman said express service at $75.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah.
So,
and I think these express services, Hartman, please correct me if I'm wrong. If you know, they are coming back between 4 to 6 weeks. I think something like that. And I think it's pretty good with PSA if you're paying that $75 service or something like that. So yeah. Now, Doma, look, we've seen the whole grading fiasco with Mark's cards and what went down in the States.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it's something in that similar vein, but I do know there's been an issue with Blunt Collections, a store up in Queensland, where they were entrusted by their customers and collectors to grade cards and send cards to PSA. And it has come out, nearly a year on after these people have sent their cards in, that he's not done the job. He's literally not sent the cards, and I don't know what I don't know exactly what's happened, but it's not good because these people have sent cards over 1 year ago, and admittedly, a lot of the people around that same time when you found out information that these guys have sent their cards, they've got their subs back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's gotten past the point of PSA trying to clear their backlog. Like, they should actually have these subs back because reports from other PSA graders here from Australia is they've got their subs back from those months. Right? So, has he not sent the cards? I think that's what's happened, or I don't know. He hasn't done his job properly, and he's left a lot of collectors very, very unhappy here in Australia, and literally being blasted all over Australian sports card scammers page. I'm yet to read the whole thread. I just asked to join the group today so I could find out some more information. And I don't want to bash him too much. I just know that
No,
you know
it's not a bashing
it's
source. It's just
no,
bringing
I'm not
light to a
bashing.
situation.
That's what I'm saying. We're bringing light to the situation. What's happened? It is a tough one. You know, you expect someone who's put their balls out and put the money up to get a shop front, and obviously do all this, buy infantry, run breaks, and do all this whole set up to run a hobby store that they would do their job, which is grade your cards, which you entrusted them to do. And it's unfortunate that he hasn't done that. I will be obviously reaching out to Jamie, the owner, and seeing if he wants to come on the show next week, potentially, and give his piece, because I think it is important that he has a message to people, because there's people saying that they've requested for updates and everything, and he's literally just not responded. There's been lack of communication. I mean, we run our own subgroup, and we've got a dedicated group for that sub, and every time we get information, we let them know straight away. Sub 1 has moved now to scanned. Sub 1 now has moved to graded. Sub 1 has now been slack, right?
And not for anything, we've copped a bit of, not flack, but we've copped a bit of pressure from customers asking where's the cards, and like we have
on
to
our end.
explain on our end, and we have to explain that what you've been told, we've been told. Like, HGA's copped, COVID outbreaks and have lost employees and stuff. And the thing that we need to understand too, in a situation where we've actually sent the cards, though, so also it's a different, like in our situation. No, it's not a dig. I'm just saying in our situation is we've sent the cards, they're over there. It's out of our control. I can't just walk into HGA down the road and say, "Where the fuck's my cards?" Like bang on the front reception and make a scene. Like, where's my client's cards? Can't do that. They're in another country. It's the same thing for Blunt as well, but the difference is, like I said, the cards never got sent, so it's going to be pretty hard to explain that.
Imagine that having your cards
Positive
with someone for 1 year and they
Positive
literally haven't
said
left the country.
Positive said he sent the cards, so June sub in December, and started ghosting his customers after that. It's interesting. Global says it sounds a little messy. It definitely does. Now he's getting them all back ungraded. Sad situation. I've got two good friends cards with mine, and they're kind of getting questions from me. So,
they're asking questions. Where's their cards? I think that's what Hardman's trying to point at. Yeah, we understand it. Like, at the end of the day, it's everyone wants to know what's going on. If the thing is, in that situation there, if you're running a business, you really should have, ideally investing in a proper, back end portal on your website where people can log in and check their grading updates through there. You should have some sort of, at bare minimum, an email service, bare minimum, a group specific for grading, blunt grading, and get everyone in a Facebook group there and at least inform them somewhere, right? Inform them somewhere. There's so many avenues that you can do this sort of stuff to keep people updated. It's no excuse to not be responding to your customers. It's responding to people, not responding to people that have entrusted you to grade their cards. I don't really know what to say. I've never sent any cards through them. I will say this. The only place that I would be sending my cards if I was grading with PSA is PSA Cards Australia through Lane Pierce, thehobby.com, I think it's called, or thehobby.com or .com.au. Head there, and that's where you 100%. Send your cards if you want to send PSA. And BGS, you go through Cherry Collectibles, and that's it. Right?
HGA, you go through us.
And HGA, us. And SGC, if you want SGC, there's a few options.
Lane.
There's also Lane. Yeah, he does SGC. Okay. So there you go. So, that's just our little advice if you were to send any cards off here in Australia.
If Lane gets HGA, send them to Lane. No, don't do that. Hopefully Lane employs us.
That's it. We're done. We're
We're
done.
done. Matty says he's got 20 HGA cards since the first day of October, not even scanned in yet. 60-day sub. Today was day 90. Hartman says he wants a reality TV style cameras in the grading facilities to see what they do. That's great. So it's an interesting thing. It is going to be a sticky situation. But as Saul said, the invitation is open. Come on the show. You can clear it. We'll probably reach out to you throughout the week. If it's something you're interested in doing, by all means, this is the opportunity. If not, by all means, I understand as well, because you have put a statement out. So that's it's fair enough. I think people just, most of the time, people like people getting in front of the camera and actually putting a message out there and, saying their piece instead of a statement coming out. But that's up to them to make that decision. All right, so let's moving on. Geez, I tell you what, grading's been copping some flack, just though in general. What are you talking about? We offer people economy for 50 a card because that's what we have to offer it at. Because for HJ, in all seriousness, we have to, because like Sauce and I with the postage and everything, would walk away with like no cent, not even a cent. That's how ridiculous it is with the conversion fees and everything, the shipping, supplies.
Yeah, I think Hardman's from over in the States, so I think he's talking about.
Okay.
I think he's talking about PSA.
Okay. Fair enough. Anyway, Sauce, moving on. Lucky last thing in hobby talk. Bounties. It's getting out of control. And it's not even the chocolates, all right? There's no coconut bounty given with this bad boy. You got Shine coming out and giving $1 million bounties, and Blaze, man, he's come out of nowhere. I've missed Blaze with his
we need his thoughts of the day
with
back,
his thoughts. Yeah, so he's come out with some bounties. Hoj came out with a more realistic bounty, 30 grand for the McCaffrey, a PC piece, which is fair enough. But Sauce, I'm not against it. I'm just saying it's just crazy the amount. Like when you think the hobby is like dead and there isn't money in it, there isn't money on the low end. But some high end cards, people are willing to just throw stuff everywhere to get what they want. It's incredible. Paying finders fees and putting bounties on cards. Just your thoughts. It's just insane.
I mean, yeah, and we thought we were in a down market. Yeah, we're in a down market for like lower stuff. I mean, even base silvers. We had a sale during the week. I think Luka Doncic select silver. I think it's the Premier might be, or the Concourse, one of the two. PSA 10 sold for under 1,000. I think the first time in 2 years sold for under $1,000.
Oh my gosh!
Right. But I mean, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy that people can get that hyped up. Offering crazy bounties on these cards, but it just goes to show that we have some, really avid collectors that see what they want, and that's what they want, and they're willing to pay that price, and that's why we say, and that's what I never understand. I don't understand about the whole thing about one of ones. Chris is willing to fork out $30K for that McCaffrey Black Prism 1 of 1. It's a 1 of 1, right? At the end of the day, there's no price you can put on it. It shouldn't matter what grade it is. It's a 1 of 1. There's only one of them out there, so. Yeah, it's interesting. Look, I don't mind seeing it. I like seeing the bit of back and forth between the original guy who put out a 300K bounty on the triple logo man, LeBron, and then Shine comes out and goes, "I'll put 500K." Raised,
and then Blaze comes out and puts a bounty on it as well. Blaze put a bounty on that card as well, I think. No, not that one. Sorry, he put it on Steph, Clay, and Draymond. And he put one on a Giannis, Steph, and KD, I think, logo, man. It was actually very funny. It was hilarious. Matty says he's put a $2 bounty for Joey Chestnut auto for 75 USD or under. That's unbelievable. Some guys my age, 40 to 50, have some seriously deep pockets. Yes, Hartman says those wildcard autos aren't physically numbered, but there is a print run for football wildcard autos, he says. Incredible stuff. The bounties. Source, I'm actually going to put a bounty on the line. I'm going to put a chocolate on the line. I'm going to put a bounty chocolate on the line for someone that can just get me I don't know, go out there, source me a nice Barkley card under 50 USD. And I'll give you a chocolate bounty. I'll give you a chocolate bar. So if anyone's willing, Charles Barkley. That's who I want to collect at the moment. Sir Charles. All right, Source, moving on. A few updates. First, crunch time update. Back next week. All right, for everyone that's been waiting for that. Another update on crunch time. Format is changing a bit. We're moving into cards, crypto, NFTs, and Fire and Flame will still be there. Third update, the most important update probably of everything on that show. Unfortunately, due to some personal stuff, nothing bad, just some personal stuff, Anth is no longer going to be a part of that show. He's still a part of our team. He's still in our chat. We talk to him all the time. He's just very, very, very busy with work and can't find the time. So he may or may not appear on future episodes. If he's free and wants to jump on, open invitation to him. Always, he's a ripper. That is at Anthony Collects. If you don't follow him, get out there and follow him. So unfortunately, he's will no longer be on the show as a permanent. He may come in as a part-timer here and there, but that's up to him. Door is always open for him. So it's us and Lukey Mast _ sports cards running that one. Next update. Soccer Card Collective working around some of the logistical stuff with that to see if it can or cannot go ahead. Final update. A very interesting update. Something a bit different in terms of a podcast. So we're going left. Let's just be straight up, Source, with them. Let's be straight up. We're going left. We could be talking sport. We could be talking cards. We could be talking best chicken nuggets sold at a fast food restaurant. We could be talking about best football team ever in the history of the AFL. Mount Rushmore of this. Best movie ever. We can even put up best actor. So-and-so versus so-and-so actress. It is a show based on just random topics. You can ask us during the week anything that you want. We have had a few things come through with AFL Supercoach podcast. There are some very good ones out there already. Dr. Supercoach, Jock Reynolds podcast. Feel free to check those guys out. They do a fantastic job. It's probably something that we're not going to venture into. I don't know, unless there's an uptake from people that want to do it. But yeah, the show is purely the new one. Source and I, probably special guests, getting people on, can even get some of yourselves on from the audience on an episode. Random topic, hopefully short form podcast. We're hoping 30 to 45 minutes. 30 minutes will be ideal, Source and I would like. But that's what we're going to do. Shoot the shit, have a laugh. Nothing is off the cards. I say nothing is off the cards. This could get either very good or very bad for us. We could, as I said to Source, we could either blow up and take the internet by storm, or we could actually blow up the channel and not exist ever again. So it either goes one of two ways. As simple as that. So very interesting. It'll be a lot of fun, and can't wait to share it with you. That's pretty much it, Source. Any other updates? Anything else? I think there is.
No, that's about it. If
Send in those topics
to Hobby Hangout, make sure you head to the link in the description and buy a ticket. Come down 20th of February. We'll be down there. Come say good day. We're doing a bit of filming, obviously there as well. Selling some cards. I'll have some wax. Maybe people can buy some wax with me. We'll see how we go. And then yeah, and also, we'll be doing some giveaways down there. We'll have a bit of merch. If you're interested in some merch, some double coverage merch, please shoot us a DM. let us know if you're
Okay,
interested,
I'll do
because
that.
ideally, we just want to sort of make enough for people that want them. We're just going to organize to get them printed. They're literally going to cost the same amount what we paid to get them done. We're not making any money off you. We would love it if you promoted and wore our hoodie or t-shirt with honor, and because you like watching our show. That would mean a lot to us. So let us know if that's something you're interested in, and I'm definitely organizing it. There'll be hoodies and t-shirts will be the options. So yeah, definitely something that we'll look out for if you're interested at the Hobby Hangout. And yeah, we can't wait to obviously have you down there. We will be pumping this up every show till then. Make sure you get a ticket if you've got someone, and maybe someone who knows that you're into cards, but they're not really into cards. You know what? Buy them a ticket and bring them along. Maybe you could get them to enjoy something, find something that they like or enjoy and want to collect.
Big,
So, yeah.
big. Don't worry, positive. We've got something coming before the show where you can probably have an avenue to buy some merch from the future post the Hobby Hangout. There could be an area where you can go and do some shopping, potentially. The other thing, free giveaway is coming also for the Hobby Hangout. As I said in past podcasts, we're going to bundle it up with some other things, but Source, we've said it. Tyson Beck sent us a nice care package with a whole bunch of his cards for nothing, autos. I think, yeah, sent an order, I'm pretty sure, and a couple numbered cards. They are going in a giveaway. We're going to be putting it together a giveaway. That's what we're doing. Free. I'm not charging anyone. What you're going to have to do is literally just give us your email address so we can send you spam.
I think he's talking about on the hoodies.
That would actually be funny.
Could the
It'd
logo be a cartoon of Saucy pissing on a PSA logo?
Have you seen those that where's that from, Adam? Because that the kid character that does that is actually a cartoon character that's on apparel somewhere. I've seen that before. It'd actually be pretty cool, under a double coverage neon light. He's under the logo. It'd be actually funny. God. But don't worry, there will be Calvin Hobbs. Is that it? That's probably it. That's it. Let's have a look. On the money.
Global's backyard breakers style giveaway.
Yeah, 100%. We're going to get you all to follow us through this free giveaway. And then we're going to decide, no, we want to keep this Tyson Beck card. And then we're just going to give you a Ben Simmons select base rookie card. That's worth 5 cents. And donate it to you. So that's pretty much it. All right, let's move on, Sauce. Sauce is smoky.
Yeah, not going to dive onto it too long. Just going to round it up quickly. But staying with the comic theme, and I've bought this one before, and I'm just reiterating a play that I've given before. But I'll bring up, these are the 1990 Impale Marvel Universe Series 1, the Marvel boxes that admittedly at one point were selling for $5,000. They're now down to $400. These boxes, you could have bought them for a very, very long time for $50 to $100. Now, you can't get them for under $400. Now, that's not the box, but the box I'm talking about is 1991 Impale DC comic. I've given this before. These are still super cheap. Here's a box literally sold 31st of Jan, $42 on auction. Here's two boxes, two seal boxes, $70 plus 20, I think it says $18 shipping there. So it would have been, $90 for two. So $45 each. This is 1991 Impale. This is the first ever DC set. I've got a box here. So guys know that I do have a box. I'll take this off so you guys can see better. But yeah, there it is there. Have a look around. Try find one that, there are some boxes that are a bit beat up because these are for 91. I paid a little bit more for mine, and I think they've come down since I paid $80 for this. And at the time I was happy because it was a nice box. good looking box, and wasn't damaged or anything, or didn't have any rips on the plastic, so it was nicely sealed. So yes, sometimes some of the cheaper ones that go for really cheap, they might be a bit battered or something. So just have a look and see if it's a bit better box. So you probably pay around $50, but I think it's such a low entry point that if it kicks off, it kicks off. I do, Hardman. I really do. I think DC hasn't had its moment to shine. Everyone's been all over Marvel, and it's that's all they've talked about. But yet have we seen the likes of Superman, and
DC shit the
Superman's
bed,
first
but
holo card. Superman's first ever holo card is in this set, 1991 Impale Superman. So I gave the Batman last week, which was a 1991 Robin 2. It's out of a comic. Came out of a comic, the first Batman.
Jump on our socials. There's a post on there. You can't miss it.
There is a post on the socials, so check that out. And then this has not only Superman but also Wonder Woman's first holo card as well.
Might have to buy
and then
a box.
I can't remember the other one. But yeah, I have a box and I have a complete set which I bought a while back for about $90. I think the whole set was, and I'm pretty sure there's still whole sets available on here. Set. Let's see.
DC, the way to go. I think,
yeah,
like we said last week, they got the best superheroes. It's just Marvel has been marketed better than what DC has. Marvel.
I mean, you can buy a whole base set for peanuts, but it's really, to be honest, guys, if you're buying anything, it's the holos in the set that you want. If you're buying any individual cards, but then if you just buy the box, then your wax always goes up too. So if it does catch fire,
Source, I think we'll talk about DC on the new podcast, mate, because I could genuinely, actually no, I'll tell you now. We could fix it right now. I will fix DC right now. You can send this to Warner Brothers or whoever the hell has the rights to DC. All right, this is how you do it.
That's Clark Kent and
this is how you do it. So while you're showing those, this is how you do it. All right.
Go on.
Zack Snyder actually gets to make his Snyderverse movies. All right, he just makes them Justice League, whatever, blah blah blah. All right. If you want to end it after that timeline, by all means, just end it after that timeline. You want to start fresh, You need to get like a Kevin Feige from Marvel for DC. Now, who's the best person to get as that creative director? Source? I'll give you the answer. Christopher Nolan, the guy that did the 3 Batman films. Batman, Dark Knight Rises, and The Dark Knight. He has creative control. You make them dark and you make them gritty. You don't make them like Marvel. That's okay. There's a place for dark and gritty, and that's fine. Because they're better films.
They are.
The 3 Batman films done by Christopher Nolan, that trilogy is the best superhero trilogy ever made. Ever made. The Dark Knight is better than any Marvel film that has ever been made. Full stop. Hi, Edna. How you going? Edna is new. Tenet, Inception, Batman. Pretty much it. But Source, I like the play. Very affordable. You know what, Source? If you love comics, you love DC characters, you can even just buy this box as a fun rip for $50. Where you getting a $50 box to rip for fun? You can get some holos in there. You might hit the right holo that you want. If not, you've had a fun rip. That's it. Get the collection, put it in a folder. You can say you've got it. That's it. So,
yep, it's a good cheapie, man. I think I gave this one, over 6 months ago, Doma. I think at the time when Marvel was popping off, and I said, "Oh, why aren't we looking at DC?" So yeah, look, I don't really know, but I'm gonna take a punt. I never took the punt when Anth told me, to buy Marvel boxes and they were $150 each. I didn't take the punt. I was like, oh, I don't want to spend $150, and then there they are selling for freaking $5,000. And then, Anth flicked off. I think he told me he sold 3 of them for $2,000 a pop that he bought for $100 or less. So not too bad when they were going for that price. But yeah, does this get to $2,000? I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh,
could it potentially get to $300? Why not? Why not?
It's true. Edna says, she read something by Stan Lee that he said any hero can win if they wanted to because he wrote the stories. She says, does that mean the illustrator has control, the fans do? A lot of the time, it's a bit of both. Creative direction by the illustrator. They listen to the fans, what's popular, who's popular, and that's what they do. Sometimes they like to shake things up, bit of a twist. They'll kill the superhero. They do all sorts of things in comics. It's actually pretty cool. But the thing is, there's no continuous timeline of like comic book 1 of Superman and then comic book 10,024 of Superman. There's about 25 different spin-offs of Superman. And that's not just for Superman. That's for every hero. There's so many different series and stories about Spider-Man and Iron Man and Captain America, and you could literally keep yourself entertained for your whole entire lifetime. And that's not even an exaggeration. A lifetime. So Global says Batman has the best villains. Hartman says, this is good. Just to answer some questions at the end of the show. He's trying to figure out soccer, and Positive's giving him the shittest advice, the most negative advice. He says, buy Pulisic.
If you want to lose money, buy Pulisic. That's all I got to say.
Oh, that's just crazy. Just crazy. Don't want to get grandfathered readers in with the old heroes and the new generation with the new characters. Yeah, I completely agree. That's true. Soccer, don't know where to start. Go listen to... Oh, Jesus. No. Do not buy this guy. Do not buy Pulisic. do not buy any of those duds. Please do not buy any of those duds. Vintage soccer, correct. There you go. Great place to start. Vintage soccer.
Literally, Hardman, I would literally be typing in Ballon d'Or winners,
great way to do
top
it.
20 greatest strikers of all time, top 20 midfielders of all time, and
Ronaldo,
look for older guys and start in the vintage, because I still think vintage is severely it's starting to get more recognized. But if you have a look at like vintage baseball compared to vintage soccer, I'll tell you what, it's not even close. That ain't even close. Yeah, the discrepancy in terms of
Ronaldo, Nazario, Ronaldinho, Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi. If you want modern guys, but if you want modern guys currently playing, Ronaldo and Messi are your safest bets. You're going to pay through your teeth, but it's an upside because they're adding to their legacy. That's the way I look at it. They're the Jordans of soccer. Then, like Saul said, vintage, Ronaldo, Nazario. You got your Zidane, your Henry, Ballon d'Or winners. A good one to look at for Ballon d'Or winners. One of Sauce's favorite guys, but Luka Modric, severely underrated.
Cheap.
Great players that play. Type in like the Italian 2016 that won the World Cup. You can grab a whole bunch of guys that played in that team and have a look at their career. Another piece of advice is just looking at world teams that have won World Cups and their star players that were in those teams and having a look at their career. Obviously, Brazilian 02, 06 was Italy. I think 10 was Germany. I think 14 was who? France? No, 18 was France. Who was 14? Oh, no, 10 was Spain. 10 was Spain.
10 was Spain. 14 was Germany.
18 was Spain. So there you go. There's ways to look at. There you go. Totti, Buffon. There's a few people in there. Roberto Carlos, Stan Lazaridis, Zlatan. There's so many places you can go. So many places. Mark Viduka, if you really want to. There's heaps of players, mate. The Dukes.
Stan Lazaridis.
So basically just unseal my FIFA 2019 and play it. Edna's a bit drunk typing, apparently. My kids love Captain America being something by Venom toys, but I think that's a myth. She's
I don't know. I couldn't make sense of it.
I don't even know what's happening. To be honest,
we're gonna have to skip that one, Edna. Sorry, I can't make sense of it.
Yeah, but there's heaps of guys out there for soccer. Heaps. heaps of guns, a lot of unseen by the market because they're too busy focused on what's it called? Your mates, Pulisic and Dest and fuck.
Yeah. Look,
Jeez.
it's that's
even get
part
me
of the
started.
market that you need to understand. I mean, I think at some point it's going to turn around with the players who are actually class are going to come out and shine.
Nah, you're not drunk, Hartman. Edna's drunk. That's where I'm going with it, mate. Don't worry. Don't stress. Before it goes way left, we'll keep this for the new pod coming out in probably a few weeks. So thank you for everything, Hartman. I'm pretty sure you do follow us on Insta. Please DM us and we can answer your questions. If you have any more questions, by all means, you can find us at all the socials down below. Edna, if you've got any questions about Marvel, feel free to send them to us. All our links are below. We're wrapping this bad boy up. Thanks, everyone, for joining in. We really do appreciate it. Keep living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the Great Man Sauce. It's double coverage. Messing has gone missing lately. I love it. Ronaldo's the GOAT.
Knocked out of the French Cup, PSG. And good night.
Lemo,
Wow.
he's a spud. He's a spud. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double coverage.